What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be redoing my Divinity Original Sin 2 speedrun guide. I made one about 6 months ago, I think, but since then, the run has changed quite a bit. So today, we're going to be going through that guide as in detail as possible so that you or anyone else can be able to speedrun this game without any real issues, so long as they follow the guide. There's been a few big updates to the guide, but overall it is relatively similar, except for the end of Act 1, the start of Act 2, and Act 3 as a whole is a lot different, okay? Act 4 is still the same. I'll try to leave timestamps below for each act if you guys want to see that. So as long as you follow along and my guide is good enough, I really hope you guys can all speedrun this game and get to that finish line. I just want to say a big thanks to the community. You guys have been awesome. Everybody who's been coming out to the streams, even though they're few and far between right now. I am trying to upload Divinity Original Sin 2 shorts, which have been a lot of fun to edit. I actually just uploaded my first Baldur's Gate 3 short, which was kind of hilarious too, so go check it out. All that stuff over on my channel, and yeah, we'll get into it. All those shorts are over on my channel, so after you finish watching this one, head over to my channel page and yeah, go check out the shorts. They're kind of funny, and they're like 20-30 seconds each, so not a big deal. So let's get right into the guide. Okay, so just letting you guys know, I do have my hand set up here so you guys will be able to kind of see what's going on the keyboard, and you'll be able to see my mouse as well. So the first thing you're going to do when you get into here is you're going to go into your profiles and you're going to create a new profile. This will basically allow you to speedrun without worrying about deleting any of your saves, because you're going to be deleting your saves a lot during speedrunning, because the more save files that you have, the higher chance you have of crashing. So you always want to delete your save files before you start a speedrun, like a real speedrun. So I'm going to turn down the music for this so that you guys can actually hear me. Just a little bit. I'm pretty sure it's fine. So, so we're going to come into our settings real quick. Once you've created your new profile, you're going to have to readjust all these settings. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to change camera zoom in and zoom out to page up and page down. If you don't have a keyboard with page up and page down, you'll just have to set them to something like arrow keys or something. That's your choice. So it's just so that you can rebind your scroll wheel. So for your, the next thing you want to do is you want to scroll down to what is called UI select slot 1. This is how you scroll through text. So mouse scroll up and mouse scroll down. You're going to want this. Scrolling through text will help you, being able to scroll through text accurately will help you speed up this run by a lot. Anyways, toggle waypoint. So the next thing you're going to want to change is the toggle waypoint menu. You're going to want to switch that to your grave key or your tilde key. So that's the key that's on the end of your keyboard beside the 1 key. This helps you really navigate the menus faster. So then the next thing you're going to want to do is you actually want to remove these keys, the UI hotbar next and previous, because if you accidentally hit them, it really does slow down the run because you need to use those skills. Now coming to toggle inventory, you're going to want to change this to tab. That will allow you to just open your inventory on the fly instead of having to press I on the keyboard. You can actually just press tab instead. Okay, and then lastly, oh yeah, okay, it's called show chat. That's kind of weird. So you want to show chat by default is actually the enter key. So you want to remove, you just want to clear that so that you don't keep bringing up the chat whenever you use the enter key to skip text, to help skip text. Okay, and I think that's everything. We're going to go just over to gameplay. I'm just going to hit accept. If you're just starting the speedrun, so you can turn on autosaves, but if you're trying to get into like real times, definitely disable this because it can slow you down a lot. Every time the game autosaves, it stops whatever you're doing. So just keep that in mind. Set your max quit saves and autosaves to whatever you like. And then if it is a new game, if you're starting a new profile, you want to go to show tutorial boxes and turn that off. And make sure that and make sure that that's not set to new tutorial reset and everything. So turning this on here, combat highlights, might actually be helpful. I've never tried it, so you know what? Let's turn it on for this tutorial and try it out. Because you're using the tilt key for the waypoints, you can no longer toggle the combat highlights. So we'll try it out. You do want to lock the cursor to the inside in your game. Change your panning speed to maximum speed because you're going to be doing a lot of it. You do want the rotating minimap. It's required for a bit of the setup. And you want to make sure you've only checkbox to these two skills. Okay? So hit apply, hit accept. And if you guys want, you can mess around with the settings to get more FPS or whatever. If you can get over 120 FPS, that's great. Anything around the 100 mark is just fine. So if you are only playing at 60 FPS, you're losing a bit of time to chat scrolls, to text scrolls. So just keep that in mind. Otherwise, there isn't really any significant advantage to higher FPS. Okay, so now that you've got the hotkeys set up, we're going to set up the start of the game. So you go to story, go to single player, and make sure you select this story mode because explorer mode is not the easiest mode. It's actually the second easiest. Story mode is the easiest, and I don't know why they put it on the bottom, but they did do it after the regular patch. So original Divinity 2, or Divinity Original Sin 2, is like there is no story mode, but for some reason in Definitive Edition there is. So we play story mode. Enemies have very little health. Super easy to kill them. Okay. Now, if you guys don't know how to set up the speedrun timer, there's another video on my channel that explains a lot of it. So you guys, it'll show the link and everything. So go check out that video if you need help setting that up. It is a bit of a process, but once you've got it set up once, you don't really need to ever do it again. So we choose Feign because if you've played Divinity, his god placement in one of the Hall of Echoes scenes is better than the rest of the undead characters. So his is closer, whereas some of the other undead characters are at the far end. But you can still do the speedrun with any undead character. You would just lose like an extra 10 seconds, 10-15 seconds to that, okay? So if you guys don't want to play as Feign, you don't have to. But we're going to play as Feign. So you're going to select Feign as either a wizard or a battle mage. Either one doesn't really matter, doesn't make any difference. They have the same items. The reason we select these guys is because they have fireballs in a fireball scroll in their inventory. You can use that right at the start of the game. So we're going to go to our preset first. We're going to remove the intelligence constitution and add 1 point to strength. And we're going to leave this point available here. So make sure you have 12 strength in this window. So now you're going to come to the combat abilities, remove the 2 that you already have, and we're going to put 2 points in polymorph. This gives us more bonus stats in our attributes, so we can get more strength later on. We're going to remove persuasion and pick up telekinesis. Telekinesis allows us to pick up any object regardless of its weight. So no matter... Stop texting me! So no matter how heavy it is... So no matter how heavy it is, you can always pick up that item. Now with our polymorph, we take Tentacle Lash and Chameleon Cloak. You don't need Chicken Claw or Bull Horns. Although I guess you don't need Chicken Claw or Bull Horns because the way that your memory works, so the more skills you get, if you pick up a third skill, you're going to have to do skill swapping, which is a real pain during the run. So I would not recommend picking up either of these two. So anyways. So that's the build preset. Now for our talents, of course, we're going to take Lone Wolf. It just makes us way stronger. And you're going to see that our strength is now 14 and we have 3 attribute points and we want to leave it at that. Don't put any more points in. And I will explain why in a few minutes. And you can choose any instrument that you want as long as it's the cello, because the cello is the best. If you set up the auto load remover, like in my other video, you can set the time to negative 1.85. Otherwise, you have to start and pause the timer manually during loading screens. All right, and with that, we're ready to start our speedrun. It's just going to say playing as undead poses unique risks and benefits, yada yada yada, bail, whatever. And then it's saying basically we have stats left, which we know in the attributes, but we can't add them right now. Oh, we could, but it would ruin the speedrun. So we're actually going to start our speedrun. As you can see, it's negative 1.83. And there we go. So first off, you're going to unlock your skills. I like to put my skills like this in the hotbar. You guys can just look. Chameleon Cloak and Tentacle Lash. Just because of the way my fingers are used to it. But you guys can set it up however you want. So you're going to be using the scroll wheel anytime there's a text. Unless it's a precision text, so requires anything but the one key. So you can actually see here that to use my... Here, we'll do this. To use my Tentacle Lash, I actually have to use my scroll wheel. I can't use my keyboard. So if I use one on my keyboard, it does nothing. So make sure you guys are aware of that. Anytime you need to use your one key slot, you need to use your scroll wheel. And anytime you're skipping text, as soon as you finish that text, your character is likely to use whatever is in your first slot. So you have to remember to hit cancel or hit escape right after any text. And that's why we move it to the third slot and leave this slot open, because now I can use my mouse wheel freely without any issues. So there was one more hotkey I didn't mention, and that was using my F key to toggle camera rotation. This allows me to move my mouse up and down freely and say pick up an item and move it if I need to. So you can see here, like, I can actually move it while still rotating the camera. The other thing is that, see how I can't see this area? If there's always a chance, if you rotate your camera, that you'll be able to see more of this fog of war. So keep that in mind. It's really important for the very start of the game, not so much later on, but... So, moving on. Immediately after finishing the text with the skull, you're going to want to click on here. This will bring up the... Are you sure you want to leave the tutorial deck? What you can actually do preemptively, see, even if I use my mouse wheel, it doesn't work. But if we use enter, we can actually skip that text, skip that immediately, so you don't need to move your mouse and click on that. Although you can use the enter key with your left hand or your right hand. So if you have a number pad, you're at a slight advantage in terms of being able to use something, but if you only have a 60% keyboard, you can actually just use that key, right? Okay. Anyways, so coming up the hatch, you're gonna actually want to click over here first, and then click on the door. This is because your character may auto path over to the left side. If you click on the door too quickly. So here we're going to do our first text skip. This one's a precision text skip, so anything that refers to not using just the one key, I'm going to refer to as precision. So for the first one, you're going to do 114, which would actually be scroll 4. So we can use the enter key to select one if we're doing a precision one, because the scroll wheel can be a bit fast and you might miss it. So we can press enter, and then 4. And that gets us through that text immediately. Or if you're good, you can try and use the scroll wheel for 2 clicks and then press 4. It is faster to use the scroll wheel, just saying, but it's more accurate to use the enter key. So you're gonna walk over here, grab this bedroll. Don't forget it. As soon as you grab this bedroll, you're gonna click over here and head up towards this door. While you're heading over to the door, you're going to move your bedroll to the 4th slot. And then this guy's going to talk to you, and this is your just speed scroll, so, or speed text. So you just use your mouse wheel to skip it. Now here, you're actually going to walk up to this area. And once your character gets about near this pole, you're going to press the bedroll, and then you're going to press Tentacle Lash, and you're going to attack this guard. Now, I mentioned before that we couldn't put all our points in strength. That is because if we did, we would one-shot this guard, and essentially the fight would just start and then immediately end, and we wouldn't be doing anything. So the bedroll gives us knockdown immunity, which stops Wendigo here from knocking us down with her Source Blast. So we're going to click over here, use our bedroll, Tentacle Lash the guard, and then walk upstairs. Okay, so all at once it looks like this. Below the pole, Tentacle Lash, and then actually we're going to go into our equipment, level up strength, choose the Source Blast, see how we're still standing, spam click on the stairs, and then walk upstairs. It is a little bit complicated, but once you get it once, you're pretty much going to know what to do. Just don't forget to level up the strength. Okay. Coming up the stairs, you want to first grab this water barrel and then head over the fire. If you try to click too far ahead, your character will auto-path through these doors. Like, probably like so. Yeah, just like this. So you want to make sure you click through the fire. And then once your character takes a tick of damage, you're actually going to grab this bedroll. So right there, he took the 2 damage, we grab the bedroll. Now, or sorry, not the bedroll, the barrel. Now coming up to this wall, this is where our first wall clip comes into play. And it is a very easy trick. You just have to position yourself correctly. So the first thing you need to make sure is that your character is running when you come up to the wall. It makes the trick a lot easier. If he's walking, it might not work. So now we're under this lamp here, and we're as far in as we can. What we're gonna do is take that water barrel that we picked up over here, and we're gonna drop it behind Fane, and he's gonna walk, and then we're gonna drop it behind Fane, and then we have all the time in the world to click on the other side of this wall and clip through. Okay, so take the water barrel, drop it, and now if you watch, I'm not doing anything. As long as you don't do any other action, I can click through the wall and he will auto path through the wall. This is where things get a little bit tricky and fast. What you want to do is once you reach the top of these stairs, you want to use your bedroll. This gives us an extra 10 strength, or 1 strength, and enough weight to carry 2 of these barrels, or enough strength to carry 2 of these barrels. So use the bedroll, pick up 2 barrels, and then from here, you're going to grab this one, and you're going to place it right about there, right on this log. And then from here, you can actually place it on top of these stairs. So the way Divinity works is that as long as an item can see where it's going, you don't have to have vision with Fane. As long as Fane sees the object, and then that object has vision of where it's going, you can move that object using telekinesis, provided you have enough strength and telekinesis. As well as the fact that Divinity has no ceilings. So you can place objects on the wall, on top of walls and such, because why would they animate, why would they put the effort into making a ceiling if you would never gonna see it? So that you can do. So see how we're overweight now? We're overweight by like 0.1. So we have to use the bedroll to keep that weight up, and we have to make sure we have the knockdown immunity when we go upstairs. So we're gonna bedroll, and from here you want to run into this corner with the shelf here. Okay, so you want to just click in this corner, and then we're going to take that second barrel we picked up that was right here, and we're going to use it to clip through the wall. Once our knock, we're just going to use our bedroll. So place it. Oh, so I can't reach it. So what you can do is actually pick this up and walk through the wall if that doesn't work. In the event that you can't figure out why it's not working, I believe this one actually has a timer versus this one, because you're not completely trapped. So you have to do this quick enough that the game doesn't realize that you're actually not trapped there. If you did everything correctly, you should be able to clip through this wall, bedroll 1 time, pick up the 2 barrels, move the 3rd barrel to this position by this, I don't know if this is going to be the same every time, but by this, above this body. Then you can move the barrel to here, run to the corner, put through this wall, and then, or using the barrel that you picked up over here. Then you pick up this barrel, and you shouldn't have to use your bedroll at this point. It should still, knockdown immunity should still be available. So, but I got to use it, so we're going. All right. Now, because we don't have our helmet on, this guy's going to talk to us and immediately die. From here, you'd think, oh, you have to like run all the way over and talk to this person, but you don't. What you can do is use your fireball scroll on this boat. Then once the cutscene starts, you're going to open your inventory using tab, and you're going to move these barrels into your backpack during the cutscene, and then equip your tattered cowl. So altogether, it should look like this. So fireball scroll, and it is a bit harder. Like, I think vertical is a lot easier to be able to hit this fireball. If you're sideways like so, it's a bit harder to find that area. So we'll go vertical. The reason this works is because there's actually a high ground advantage on the boat for whatever reason. You can't see it with the fireball, but with a Molotov cocktail, you can actually see the high ground advantage on the water. Anyways, that's why it works. So fireball. So fireball. Then we're going to put on our tattered cowl, throw these 3 death fog barrels into our backpack. And I'm actually going to place this here to give me an extra slot. It makes it a little easier to pick up items later on. So with that, you're past your boat split. So if you're using the auto loader mover, it will pause automatically as soon as you hit a loading screen or a cutscene. Most cutscenes, not all of them though. Now, starting off, the first thing you're going to do is drop the overweight backpack. You have to be careful because of the text will mess it up. You can just drop this backpack anywhere here because the timing doesn't matter later on. You're going to pick it up later with prints, okay? So you're going to drop the barrel or drop the backpack. So as you're running along the beach, you're going to open your backpack and see how we have this 3 slots here. Now I can click and drag this into my backpack for the fastest way to pick up the crate. If you don't do this, here, I'll actually show you. If you don't do this and you're running along, you have to right click once. Your character will stop. You have to right click twice and then pick it up. It's so much extra work than just going like this and dragging it into your inventory. Okay? Make sure that this is in a spot where you're going to remember where it is, because there's another crate that looks exactly like it but weighs a lot more. Coming over here, you're going to hold the Alt key on your keyboard, and that is going to show up, or make all the items show up here. So we're going to pick up these leather scraps. They're the first part of 2. They're the first of 2 items you need to craft the dagger. So running up here, we're going to do the same thing with this crate, and I'm going to place this somewhere where I know the difference between these 2 crates. So this one's 10 pounds, this one's 150. Definitely don't mess up. So Sir Laura here is going to talk to us. You just scroll to skip his text quick, scroll once, and then press 2 to dismiss him. So coming up to prints, you're going to want a quick save. This is very important because if you mess up the prints text, you have to restart the save or restart the game. So this is probably the hardest text skip to do in the game. So the first thing you have to realize is that there's actually 42 skips before the correct text. So on my mouse wheel, while it may not be the same for you, I encourage you to quick save and practice this lots. But on my mouse wheel, it is 6 scrolls for me, roughly. And then I use the enter key to precisely find the one I need. So we're going to count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
As a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself.
So I somehow guessed exactly correct. But if you if you get to this page, you are right on the right spot. As a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself, blah, 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 blah. It's basically choosing your class for prints. So you want to say that you're interested in magic, so you're going to press 4. And then you're going to press 2 on your keyboard. And that's going to make him an enchanter. And then you're going to skip the rest of the text. So the enchanter has 2 skills that are really important, rain and discharge. So electric discharge only has a range of about there, and we need it to have a range of about here. So we use rain to extend the range of electric discharge. Just keep that in mind. Now, this next bit is time sensitive. So I'm only going to be able to show you and try to explain it as best I can. But it is time sensitive because the rotation of the crocodiles on the beach starts as soon as you get into vision of them. So from here, we're fine. But as soon as we go up past this rock area, I believe it's over here. As soon as we get up past that area, the crocodiles will start their rotations, and you have to catch them on the first rotation. So I'll show you guys that real quick. The other thing you want to do is use F1 and F2 to switch between your characters. You double tap it, so you can tap it once to choose that character, or you can tap it twice to go to that character. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So our characters are chained right now. In order to unchain them, you just drag them off to the side. To rechain them, you just drag them onto each other. Okay, so coming along the beach, we come up here, and what I'm going to do is run up to this area, and then I'm going to adjust my camera to try and get better fog of war. This tree I'm going to click feign to. I'm going to disconnect Prince, and he's going to go over here to this spiked rock. We're going to go back to feign, use our chameleon cloak, and that allows us to run through this scene. I'm going to click up here in the fog of war. Then here, I'm going to use rain with Prince, and we're going to use electric discharge on the water, and that should hit the crocodile. This is very time sensitive, because, sorry, as long as you guys get that first try, you're gold. So here we're going to walk up to this gate. Everything here is time sensitive. You can walk up to this gate, use your 10-pound crate to clip through the wall. You're going to skip the text, and then you're going to switch back to Prince and end his turn. So this is very time sensitive, because if you wait too long to attack this crocodile and end your turn, this crocodile will somehow get way up into the fight before this crocodile can get into this position. So it's very important that it gets here. Okay? But you do have you do have leeway. It's just you'll lose a lot of time if that happens. So first thing we're going to do, we're just going to end our turn until this crocodile teleports to Prince. Okay, so end our turn. We're going to switch back to feign. Now you can see feign is in this fight with the 3 characters, but they can't attack him. We're going to just walk up to this door. Now, once you're through this door, you're going to switch to Prince with the F2 key. See that he actually did teleport on that turn, which is great. And then we're going to switch back to feign, just so the only thing we need to know is if that croc teleported. Although I have no idea how he teleported, because he used scale rotation like 1 turn ago. Maybe I skipped 2 turns on that rock. But basically just keep skipping Prince's turn until that crocodile teleports. If that crocodile does not end up teleporting for like 10 turns or something, or isn't getting into combat properly, you need to verify your game files and make sure that you're also playing on story mode, because on Explorer or harder modes, they're not that stupid. So, okay. So we came through this door and we just walk up to the edge of the stairs here. It's kind of weird because it like shows that we should be in combat right now, but we're not. So it's fine. You can use the shift key to see this. So we're going to use chameleon cloak. And we're just going to click on the boat. Our character should auto path through the oil. And we're going to talk to the boat. We're going to skip it. And we're going to immediately go down east on the beach. So while you're running along the beach, what you want to do is open up your inventory. You're going to put 2 points in strength, 2 points in wits, 1 point in all skilled up. Or you can head over to talents, put 1 point in all skilled up. Go to civil abilities, put your 2 points in telekinesis. Go to combat abilities, and you're going to put 1 point in huntsman, 1 point in scoundrel, and 1 in warfare. Now, it's really easy to remember these as the third slot, the third last slot, and then the last slot. Trying to actually read them all is kind of really can be kind of jarring to the brain when you're speedrunning. So just keep that in mind. Third slot, third last slot, and last slot. Now what you're going to want to do is send feign up past this chest. And while you're doing that, you're going to switch to Prince. You're going to use Hail Strike on the crocodile, or you can use Electric Discharge. It doesn't really matter. Hail Strike does more damage, so we're going to use that. So you want to attack the crocodile, finish him off. So now we have 1 AP. We're going to take the gloves. So when he's dead, you're going to loot him, take the gloves, and you're going to drag them over to Fein's icon. This will give Feign the gloves. And now you can see my turn is over, but it hasn't ended. We actually have to close this box before it ends. So close that. The turn ends. We go back to Feign. Don't put on the gloves just yet. We're going to run. We're going to run over here, and the pigs are going to automatically talk to us.
I sense great suffering.
So Pig talks to us. Then we're just gonna run up over here. Okay, so you want to make sure you wait just until this is all exploded, and then you're gonna pick up this barrel. You're going to open your inventory. You're gonna drag this barrel into Prince's inventory, and you're gonna drag this barrel into Prince's inventory. So Prince now has 2 barrels. You have 1 barrel and the reinforced crate. Then you're gonna run up here. You're gonna switch to Prince, and you're gonna just flee combat, and then hit travel. There was one thing I didn't explain before. Sorry. So there was one thing I didn't explain before, and this is Fort Joy. As you're coming through the gate, while you're invis, you need to walk right up to this brazier, because this gives you the waypoint for the town. So just make sure you guys go to here, and then you can head over to this gate to do the wall clip. Okay, now circling back. So now we've come up. Now we've come up the vine, and we're going to start walking this way. Now you want to put on the gloves of teleportation. You want to leave it in the first slot. And what you're going to do is you're going to switch back to Prince. You're going to go to his skills and skill strength. You can do this at any point as long as he's leveled up. It doesn't really matter. Now, the fastest way to pick up this backpack is to hold Alt and click the name. Because if I want to pick it up this way, it won't work. So hold Alt, click the name. And actually, he actually can't pick this up normally because it's too heavy. But for whatever reason, you can always pick up bags with you can always pick up bags. I don't know why. He shouldn't be able to pick it up because he doesn't have telekinesis. And I don't know if that works with other objects, but that's what we're going with. So when you've picked up that bag, you're going to switch to feign. And on the way over here, you're going to put... Oops, that's the wrong bag. On the way over here, you're going to put this barrel and this barrel and this barrel and this crate into the backpack, and your weight should total about 616. It may be a little more or less depending on the RNG of whatever was in that crate. Now we have a 615 weight bag, and right here, if you hold Alt, you're going to see a sharp piece of metal. We're going to pick that up, and we're going to head over here. So if I adjust my camera, I can see the stairs. We're going to click to the middle of the stairs here, and then we're going to switch back to Prince. You're going to teleport Prince to the Fort Joy square, then go to your inventory and combine the 2 items here, the sharp piece of metal and the leather scraps. This crafts the dagger for feign, which allows us to backstab with the bag using telekinesis. It's such a broken bonus stat that we use it to one-shot the worm. So 615, actually we needed 610, but 615 weight is the perfect amount to actually kill this worm in one shot. Here, I would recommend quick saving. If you haven't, you're going to quick save a couple times in this bit. So we're going to go invisible, and we're going to walk right up to this little L shape right here. This puts us just out of range for Alexander to talk to us, and it puts us just in range for this. Now, if you see the guard walk up to this area, as soon as he reaches it, do a quick save and reload the game. Whenever a guard is walking or has just walked to a position, you can quick save and reload to actually manipulate that enemy to walk back to their previous position. So you can see that the guard just moved back. Okay. So we haven't put on our dagger yet, so make sure you equip that. You can equip that at any time. I would equip it right here when your character is right here. And then as you're moving, you can throw this off the hotbar, move this to the 7th slot, at least, or higher. Go to Prince, or click on Prince's icon, go to his civil abilities, and give him Thievery. Now from here, we're going to... Oh, we have to wait for that rotation. So if you've done... You can do all this prior and then you can just immediately teleport this guy down. But in our sense, since we're trying to show you guys, obviously we're going to be a bit slower. So once you're in this position and ready to fight, you're going to take the bag, the 615 weight bag, and you're going to place it over here on the ground. Now, as soon as this guy comes around, you're going to use teleport, and you're going to teleport him into this position. And then while the turn is going, you're going to switch to Prince and position him correctly now that he's not overweight. We'll wait for this character to come down. Drop him right around there, right around that point. The fight's going to start. We switch to Prince. Now we're going to position Prince right behind Butter here. And just switch back. And just leave Prince there. So he used Staff of Magus, but the silence failed. So in the event that you actually got silenced, you wouldn't be able to use Play Dead. So what you would do is you would use the bag to kill the Metamorph, kill Alexander, end your turn, and then the worm will show up somewhere around here, and all the enemies will go for the worm. So you would just start murdering them one by one with the bag, just like a normal fight with a heavy bag. Yeah, so unfortunately that's kind of the way it goes if you get silenced. But assuming you didn't get silenced, you want to use 2 AP to walk up here. And then you're going to quick save. And so we already placed the bag on the ground, so we don't have to waste 1 AP placing it on the ground. But it's not a big deal if you forgot. You would just kill 2 enemies instead of 3. But we're going to kill the Metamorph here. And the reason we quick saved was because it can actually miss. And if you missed on, like, if you needed to kill one of the enemies, then you definitely would like to reload. So to hit the Geist, it's not just on his foot. You actually have to get it really really inside this circle on the ground. So hit him. And then you can't see him, but there's actually an enemy right here on this line. So we're going to place that as far over as we can and kill him. Okay. So now we have 1 AP and we can use Play Dead. Now, this is the part that requires a lot of accuracy and speed. So once you play dead, you're going to spam the Alt key to grab the backpack and kill Alexander with it while you're playing dead. For whatever reason, the game doesn't actually register that you're in combat while you're playing dead while throwing a backpack around. So it takes 2 hits to kill Alexander. So you're going to hit him once and then hit him again while he's walking. He has a tough hitbox, so this will take a lot of practice. And when he dies, you want to adjust your camera to about this position, and then you're going to drop the bag on the worm while it's coming up. So if you do that all correctly, it's going to look something like this. Play dead, use the Alt key, hit Alexander once, hit Alexander twice, adjust the camera, hit the worm. Worm is now dead. Kill the knight. Throw the backpack right up on this corner. That will allow you to move it again. So I wasn't quite fast enough. If you do everything nice and quick, you can kill all these enemies without initiating combat again. So we just have to throw the backpack. We got kind of unlucky. So see how it says 3 AP? It means our character's going to move quite a bit. So anyways, so we kill him. And assuming you did everything right, you want to loot Alexander before Malady talks to you. But I was too far away, so. Yeah. So we're going to actually go to Prince. Remember how we got Thievery? Did we get Thievery? Yeah, we did. We're going to pickpocket Butter and take Tactical Treat. It's always the second last box, or second last book. So take that, press your tilde key, and just travel to the beach. And that's all you need to do. So, and if that doesn't work, then you might need to, I would recommend quick saving before stealing. But once you get the hang of it, it's not too tough. Sometimes the game doesn't realize that you put a point in Thievery, and you have to reload to fix it. So anyways, so we're going to skip all this text. Now, Coming over here, we're going to walk just down this ramp a little bit and open our inventory. From Prince's backpack, we're going to learn tactical retreat. Then we're going to use it to jump down here. We're going to talk to Amadia and just use your scroll wheel to skip through the text. And then while you're right here, before you do anything, you're going to grab the backpack and you're going to place it on this corner. See how Fane goes to a weird position? That means if you tried to pick it up before, he would have went to this position and then just been overweight. Now we need to loot Alexander. You actually only need his cloak, but you can just press space to loot everything. And then you're going to walk beside Malady. You're going to hold Alt, grab the backpack. Now we're overweight again. You're going to talk to Malady.
What did I tell you?
And now this is the part where skipping text very quickly is a bonus. So if you skip her text and spam the enter key, you can actually keep the source point that she gives you without using bless. So let's try that. I don't know if I'm going to get it, but anyways, if you're too slow, your character automatically casts bless. So we'll see how it goes. So we're going to spam the enter key and see how it goes. So that is the end of the bag split there. So coming into the start of Act 1.5, which is the Fire Nation setup, you can actually see we did keep our source point. We used bless, but we didn't use it on Malady. This is good because later on we don't have to get the source puddle. This is where all the RNG in the game is. Everything else is pretty not RNG. So coming up to this place, Prince is going to talk to you. You're just going to skip through his text real fast. And now he's going to walk away. You're going to be using teleport, so hit escape. You're going to open your inventory. And you're going to open your backpack because you're severely overweight. These 3 barrels we picked up are used in a fight later on. So you want to place them. So this position here, I mean, you could place them here, I guess. I'm going to try it. We're going to place them here. So you want to place these on top of each other. Now, I'm going to show you guys something. There is basically a rhythm to dropping barrels. If you drop them fast enough, or if you drop them with speed, sometimes you can get it perfectly on beat, but other times you'll have to drop it twice. So if you go 1, 2, 3, and kind of count like on the second, 1, 2, 3. But I'll show you guys. Oops. If you drop them too quickly, see how my character actually didn't drop that one. Or if you drop it a little offbeat, sometimes that it won't actually place it. So let's try it. Yeah, see, so I waited a little bit and then I let go and it didn't place it. So just make sure you guys are dropping your barrels on beat. So we got the 3 barrels here. Actually, we actually want them there. And then we're going to place this 1 death fog barrel. It's a little bit hard to see, but we're going to place 1 death fog barrel right about I would say right about there. And then the reinforced crate, we're just going to drop off to the side here. So all in all, you have the 3 barrels stacked up right in front of this line. You have this one off center and off center forwards as well. And your crate over here. This makes us not overweight anymore. We want to walk up to this position by the railing here and move less into the 6th slot. And here we're going to use tactical retreat and jump to the stairs. Malady's going to talk to us. We're going to cast teleportation accidentally and then head downstairs and head downstairs. Now from here, you want to get your positioning correct. You want to come up right to this pillar. That should be okay. Now, this one is actually quite hard to do as well. But, oh, actually, something I didn't mention is that you want to move these barrels over to your inventory as well. So, we're just going to close our inventory. We're going to drop the barrel and then click through the door. Just like so. And then we're going to come up to this area behind the pillar. We don't want Tarquin talking to us, so we're going to come right to this position. Use teleport on the book. Pick up the book. You didn't have to right click that, by the way. So pick up the book and then pick up the ornate chest, and then you're going to walk into the corner here, use the ornate chest, and you're going to click through the door.
This again.
This side of the clip is actually very easy because the chest is so huge. But yeah, so you're going to walk through the door, pick up your death log barrel, and then head upstairs. Now, Exter is going to be right here. You're going to talk to him, sell your Alexander's cloak, and grab the third scoundrel book, which is Cloak and Dagger. You can hit add gold, but we actually don't need gold anymore, so whatever you want to do. And click on the stairs and then open up your inventory. Learn the book. Use Cloak and Dagger first. You can swap these if you like. I prefer Tactical Retreat to be on 5. And then use Tactical Retreat to go to the front of the book. Press 4 to skip this text. And just sing the song. You're going to skip this text just regularly. Skip the text. Now Melody's going to come talk to you. I recommend quick saving here, as if your barrel is set up is wrong, then you need to come back. But once you get good enough at it, you can just reload and hope for good RNG. So here, you're going to skip her text, and you can actually use the enter key whenever there is a pop-up like this, or a prompt. So just spam the enter key and scroll. Good to do. So Dallas is going to talk, everybody's going to talk. Now right when she says the word act, you're going to quick save. So the RNG here is the fact that we need this death log to kill everyone, but that Geist actually lived, so we have to reload. Not everyone, sorry, to kill these 4 characters here. Specifically the 2 Geists. If the Geists live, it becomes a very long fight. Now, hope that you get this on the first try. What are the odds, man? I don't know what the odds are that you actually get this, but I would say it's about 35% chance. Alright, there we go. So we got the fog to kill all 4. The other thing is that the fire damaged this monk, and that's very important. The best RNG is if this cloaked figure uses curse on the flames and actually does more damage to the silent monk. That is the fastest it can be. So if you all 4 die and you get cursed flames, but otherwise we have to do it this way. So we're gonna walk just up to the stairs here a little bit, use teleport on the silent watcher, teleport him into the death fog, then jump over to this position using tactical retreat, head downstairs. We're going to walk to this position, go to our skills, level up strength, use our bedroll, then we're going to select the civil abilities tab, and we're just going to leave it like that. If you killed all 4 but didn't damage that monk, what you want to do is use Cloak and Dagger, go upstairs, or sorry, not Cloak and Dagger, use Chameleon Cloak, go upstairs, then use Cloak and Dagger to the top of the mast, then you can teleport that monk into the death fog. But if you're unsure and you just don't really want to deal with it, you can actually just wait it out and it will end naturally anyways. So the fight is still progressing while we're down here. We got bad RNG, like I could have walked up there and done it, but it'll be over in about 5 seconds anyways, so hopefully. There it is. So we want to level up telekinesis, you can leave the other abilities. And right here, as soon as you skip this, you can actually use Cloak and Dagger and jump down to the bottom area. So skip it, jump down to the bottom area, and your character will do the text up here. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, just wait for the text, skip the text, and do that. So now, if we didn't already have this source point, we'd have to walk into this puddle. But because we already have it, we're going to cast it on the second character, Amadia here. She's going to talk to us. We're going to skip her text with the scroll wheel. And that's pretty much that. Now we just have to walk up here, use tactical retreat, make things a little bit quicker. Walk downstairs, walk downstairs. Now, you're going to want to walk to this position right behind this barrel. And you're going to adjust your camera so that you can see both Fane and this area here. So as soon as Fane reaches the barrel, there's always going to be a spot. Let me zoom in if I can. So these bolts, there's always going to be a spot right here that is available as long as you position Fane correctly. So I can just barely see the bolts. I don't know if you can see them on the recording, but if I do this, Fane can jump there and I can skip the text. And that is the end of the Fire Nation split. Like I said, all timestamps are going to be below if you guys need to redo or look through all this. But yeah, okay. So if you made it this far, congratulations, you got through the hardest splits in the game. You got through the hardest split in the game, and we're going to be moving on to some more fun stuff. So, some more skill-based fun stuff. So, Act 2 is a bit of a fickle. Now, this new setup is called Item Fling, and it requires you to do something kind of, like, tough. So it'll take a little bit to get used to. I'll admit, I was very bad at it for a long time, but now I can almost get it first try every time. So you're going to skip the text, and now you're just going to position Fane by these stairs. You're going to, once you finish Act 1, you're going to automatically have these pyramids in your inventory. You're going to take the red one, or the blue one, whichever, but I prefer to use the red one, as the blue one is always first on the hotbar when going through 2 new scenes. So you're going to take the red pyramid, you're going to place it on this roof. Now, from here, you're actually going to place it as close to this edge as possible. Not like pixel perfect, but very close to here. Then you're going to back up your camera and adjust it so that it's nice and high. Backing it up over something else that's high, so this thing right here, allows us to see a lot farther than we normally would. So you can see how many, there's actually 4 docks here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you want to position the corner of your screen to be on the 4th dock, and not any farther or less. So if you're new to Item Fling, you're going to want to quick save here. So now we go into our options, and we're actually going to initiate the frame cap. I didn't mention this before, but if you are running a frame cap, I suggest taking it off, because otherwise you have to manually adjust this bar every time instead of just selecting frame cap. So we're going to frame cap at 10, which is the lowest. Hit apply, or actually just hit accept. You don't need to hit apply. And then from here, you're going to make sure you either have a high DPI or a lot of mouse space. So I'm going to position my mouse closer to my chest, showing you guys here on the second camera, and we're going to drag this around, and you can see that it's really, really laggy. So it's almost like it's on a fishing line. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop the pyramid and throw our mouse into the top corner. And if you do it correctly, it should look like this. And that is called Item Fling. And basically what it is a frame perfect trick. So basically the game checks for if the item is allowed to drop somewhere, and then it makes the calculation to throw it. If you drop it and throw it on the same frame, or if you drop it on the ground where it's allowed to go and then throw your mouse on the same frame, you can pretty much go wherever you want. So after you've thrown the pyramid, you're going to go into your options and you're going to unselect frame cap, hit OK, and now we're back to normal. We're going to use tactical retreat down to this spot. This is to get the waypoint. And then from here, we're just going to, change. So from here, we're going to move our pyramid over to the first slot. And this is where FPS comes in handy, because at 60 frames per second, it's almost impossible. But about 80 to 90, it becomes more possible. So we just spam the scroll wheel. Even though the destination is blocked, it still brings it up for whatever reason. So yeah, we can teleport to the pyramid, which is now over here on the docks. Now, trying to follow along, This isn't super complicated. It's just positioning and placing the pyramid in the correct position. If you find that the pyramid is like in the water or whatever, you may need to use teleport to get it out. But yeah, so we're going to place the pyramid on this pole. And we're going to place it over here at the end of the dock. Then we're going to teleport to it. Place it by this post. And if you can't see this post, I recommend moving the camera so that you can see it, because you don't want to mess this up. It's just a pain. Teleport. And then from here, you want to go to the top of these stairs. From here, you want to go to these sandbags. From here, you want to go to the last mossy rock on the left. Pretty much straight ahead. And from here, you should be able to move it straight up into this position at the top. If you can't, you'll need to move it onto the rocks here and then over. It just means you didn't place it properly on this rock. So from here, if you can place it up here, this is better. I recommend placing it here and then placing it over in this position. It's just it makes for a better setup. So from here, if at any time Fane is blocking the teleporter pyramid like so, you can hold Alt and click the name to pick it up. Just an FYI. So now we can go near this rock, but in the middle of the road here. And we wanted to position between these two trees, like towards our destination. So remember how I said in Act 1, or on the boat, as long as the item has vision, you can throw it. So long as you have vision of the item and the item has vision of its destination, and you have enough telekinesis and strength to do it. So we throw it up here onto the path. Then from here, we're actually going to throw it here first and throw it again without teleporting. That's because if you mess this up, your character can sometimes teleport on the opposite side, and it initiates a conversation with Jahan. So from here, to get it on this rock, you actually just have to hold it anywhere in like this area, and then you just let go, and your character should drop it on top. Pyramid movement becomes is pretty hard to get down to master, so it will take a lot of practice to get any sort of real speed out of it. But once you get it, once you're decent at it, you can get pretty quick, as shown in some of my speedruns. So we're going to drop the pyramid into the water. You can see the shoreline here. You just want to drop it a few inches off, you know, not like crazy far, because Fane won't be able to reach it, but just a little bit, so that we can throw it onto the other beach. So I actually have a hotkey. It's caps lock to switch to Fane immediately, to center on Fane. And this is one of those things that it becomes really handy, because you can center on Fane and just use the pyramid here really quickly. So you want to pick up the blue pyramid, walk over here. You're going to drop your death fog barrel. And I recommend quick saving in case you mess this up somehow, but if you're doing a real speed run, you don't have to. So you're going to talk to Advocate. I almost called him Advocado because of the split. But you're just going to skip all this text until you see this green line. And then you're going to move your hands over to your keyboard, and you're going to press enter, enter, and then the 6th key to skip his text with the precision. Now, this is the neat part. You can use your pyramid and then attack this death fog by using control. I don't know if I mentioned that before. You can hold control to attack things. It'll kill the advocate and then teleport out. If you teleport too quickly, it's actually bad, but you can test it yourself, see how fast you're allowed to teleport before Jahan actually realizes you killed him. I think you just need to get the experience. For it to count, but I always let it go for like an extra second just to be sure. So you're going to drop the pyramid on the rocks here and then head over to Jahan. This is all just text skip with Jahan. So spin your mouse wheel as fast as you can. You can hit escape to cancel the pyramid teleport. You're going to pick up the red pyramid, and then you're going to press your tilde key or grave key to go to Driftwood Square. Adjust your camera so it's facing north. And you're just going to drop the red pyramid here. Then you're going to move it up to this position and teleport to it. So, and pick it up, and we'll just head down into the and just head down into the basement. So this is your first out of bounds right now. It's not super complicated. Just remember that the pyramid has to have vision of where it's going. No ceilings exist, and we're able to go out of bounds. So we're going to place the pyramid right about here. Make sure that the pyramid is pointing outwards, towards us, towards our camera, and not away from us, like so. We're going to place it on here. Not super important where. You want to make sure your camera is all the way to the left, and then you're just going to drag it over to the right side. Right about there. And then you're going to use the pyramid, and you can see that we're actually in another room now. You're going to click into the room, and then once we get past this line, you're going to use tactical retreat to get farther into the room. So click into the room, and now you can see we're on top of this rock. We have high ground advantage. So we're going to use tactical retreat, and we're going to go right to this book here. We need to read this book so we know the recipe for the black root. So just skip the text that it gives you. You'll likely try to use your pyramid, so just hit escape. Go into your inventory, and you're going to double click the lancet. Then you're going to right click it and combine it with blackroot and ritual. Hit combine. Now you're going to drop it. Don't drop it right in the middle. Try to drop it like a little bit closer to you, because for some reason this fire doesn't land properly sometimes. Anyways, so keep in mind you do have to have a source point in order to use this. If you don't, there should be one on the ground here. So you're going to skip all the text. You're going to run up this way, and then you're going to use tactical retreat. It'll likely be on cooldown for a bit, but it's always helpful to use it. You're going to run over to this position here. And as you're running, you're going to move your pyramid to the 9th slot, or just off of the 1st slot, because our character is automatically going to use spirit vision once we talk to him. So, or you're going to throw it off the hotbar, and then he's going to get vampiric source, or source vampirism, which you're going to use on him, and then you're going to switch that with the pyramid, and then you're going to move teleportation to your 2nd slot. So if you do it all right, it should look like this. Talk to him, hit accept. Throw it off your hotbar. Source vampirism. Swap. Throw that off your hotbar. Swap those. And then we can head here. So now we go to the Lady Vengeance, and Malady should be right here. In the event that she is not right there, you just have to walk to the front of the boat, talk to the boat, and wait around for a little bit. Something probably happened during the fight on the Blood Moon Isle that you need to, I don't know, it just messes with things. This is a precision text, so you're going to have your fingers on enter and 2 when you get to this position. And you're going to do 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. So, or 1 being enter. So 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then just spam the enter key until it's done. Because there's a prompt and everything, you know that it's going to be, you know that enter is going to work better than using the scroll wheel. So that was the end of that Act 2. So the whole purpose of Act 2 is just to get the 3 source points. Now coming into Act 3, this is the hardest item fling in the speedrun. So setup is very particular, and you want a quick save before doing it. If you do not feel comfortable doing a speedrun like this, you can watch my old guide and just watch the Act 3 part where I do Act 3, and you can see the whole puzzle and everything, how I do Act 3. But if you can get item fling and get this item fling correctly, you're gonna have you're gonna save about 1 minute and 40 seconds, or a minute, yeah, about a minute on this act, or on this split. You're gonna skip Malady's text, and without moving Feign, you're going to adjust your camera. You're going to drop the teleporter pyramid on the roof, just like in Act 2. You're gonna place it close to the edge, just like in Act 2. Then you're going to place your icon so that it stabs into the edge of this busted boat. So this is how my setup for it. So the second, the edge of spirit vision should be just poking right into the edge of this boat, this little half circle. So if you run out of spirit vision setting up, just use your bedroll as another check. So now the bedroll is in the edge there. You can quick save now, but remember when you reload, you'll have to reset up the camera and everything. So go into your options, do the frame cap, hit accept. Now this is the biggest, well, one of the hardest. So make sure you have enough. Make sure you have enough mouse pad to do this. But yeah, once again, drop it and then fling your mouse. Basically, throw your mouse as far as it'll go. So we're gonna do this. Now, if we did this correctly, so we're gonna hit options, go to frame cap, hit accept. Now we're just gonna spam our teleporter pyramid from here. Now we are in the correct position. So if you manage to get in this position, but your pyramid is not right here on this tip, what you can do is you can use teleport to possibly grab it from wherever it is. And if it's in a position where you can't really get to it, use your page up or page down or arrow key or whatever to like zoom in and try to select it from wherever it may be. And then you should be able to teleport it up to this position. Okay? So we don't need to do that. Once you get to this position, you can just grab the pyramid. Now from here, I don't believe it's faster, but you can, oh yeah. So you could drop the pyramid, throw it up here, teleport to it. Now this is a bit tricky because there's only a little bit of room here, but it would be faster than running up the vines. Now, if you're down here in this position, you can actually just use tactical retreat and you can jump right up to here. And then you can click on these vines and your character will go. It is quite quick, but I think if you were fast enough with the pyramid, you would actually be faster. Kind of hard to say. So from this position, you're going to drop you're actually going to click because for some reason you can't do anything for the first few seconds. Okay, so you're going to drop the pyramid out of your inventory and then you're going to place it over by this bit here. From here, you're going to go to this side. Try not to get hit by this fire. If you do, you're going to need to use your bedroll most likely. So what you want to do is just basically just pyramid your way across up to these stairs. Now from these stairs, what you need to do is adjust your mini map so that the north pointer is actually covering this northeast spike, like so. And then you're going to position your camera as far as it'll go into the top right corner, and you're going to position your portrait so it's in this crevice of this rock. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know, right there is fine, right there is fine. But the closer you are to the little crevice of this rock, the better. So we're going to try and get it perfect just for the speedrun. Just for the tutorial. That's good enough. So this is where the third and final item fling comes into play. Go into your options, enable frame cap, hit accept. Now, this one is relatively easy. For some reason, it's just easier than the rest of them. But what you want to do is you want to place this as far over as it can go, or right about here. And then you're going to drop it and fling your mouse into the top right corner. Ah, see, it didn't work. I don't know why that happens, but... or actually, I do know why it happens, but if I could place it next to something that makes it not want to move, it would be better. But first, there's just not really a lot of play in this area, and wasting the time to do it and set up for it would just not be fast. So practice your item flings because they're very hard to get done. They are technically a frame perfect trick, so well, they're supposed to be a frame perfect trick. So yeah. So you're going to go into your options, turn off frame cap, and then you're going to teleport using the pyramid to near the end of Act 3. So if you normally came through, you'd have to walk all the way through here. But we're not doing that. We just threw the pyramid down, and you should always land right here. You can actually land right in front of the Titan, but it doesn't really make it any faster because what you need to do is go to your skills. You need to level wits to 22, and then you need to spam your skill or spam your equipment window. What this actually does is it refreshes the game's like save data. So when you quick save, it doesn't accidentally save at 14 wits, which will happen if you just do the wits and then close the window and then talk to the Guardian, because we need to quick save reload very soon here. So I spam the window like 4 or 5 times, and then I will talk to the Guardian, go enter 2, and then skip the rest of the text. And you're into the last part of this act. So coming up to this fight, this it's all like, for some reason it's doing these scenes, but we're going to skip through the Arbiter's text.
So this is it.
And you're going to do one text skip on Alexander, and then you're going to quick save and reload. So when it says end, like, but don't click end, just, yeah. You may want to quick save before before skipping through the text, just in case you mess up. But here we can now skip text, and it should be our turn. Now we are going to use Cloak and Dagger and Tactical Retreat. So Cloak and Dagger down to the bottom here, to this little point. Then use Tactical Retreat down to here, and while that's going, you can move your pyramid over. So this is time sensitive. What you want to do is walk up to this pillar. As soon as your character goes out of combat, you want to level up strength and you want to level up warfare. Then you're going to talk to the pillar. You're going to go into here and level up hothead. If you do this all before the text, it's very beneficial because you're basically using up downtime. So if you can do that, that's very good. So you're going to be skipping all this text. It's sometimes you will get a prompt for Spirit Vision here. So I suggest spamming the enter key as you're skipping this text anyways. Sometimes you won't. I do know why, but it's a little bit hard to explain. So, just moving on. From this position, you're actually going to jump. You're just going to use Tactical Retreat to here. You're going to make sure you know where your bedroll is on the hotbar. Run up to this position. Use your bedroll before you get into combat. Drop your Death Fog barrel off to the left side, and then you're just going to run into combat here. Skip the first text. Now, right as she talks, she's going to jump, and you're going to quick save while she's midair, and reload as soon as that's done. This is a bit tricky, and sometimes it won't work. If it doesn't work, it's not the end of the world, but I suggest trying to do this, as it is much easier and much faster. So we got the skip. If she attacks you, just reload, do the same thing you did with Alexander, quick save on the last text, and then reload. Oh, the other important thing, if you do need to do the reload on the last text, make sure her voice line is completed. I don't know why, but if the voice line is not completed, she will still attack you. Okay. So here, we have the bedroll, we have the strength, we have the warfare. So our Tentacle Lash is actually going to do a fair bit of damage. So we're going to use Tentacle Lash on her. And if you get lucky, like I just did, she will turn into the Titan. If not, you just have to run up and attack him. Attack him once. So now we're going to actually use Teleport on the Titan, and you're going to place him directly south of the barrel here. Is that south? No, it's not. Well, you're going to place him directly down of the barrel here. Then from here, as soon as he dies, you're going to use Tactical Retreat and jump up to this position and start running up here. If you take too long, you don't want to wait for this text, right? You want to use all your downtime. So here you're going to actually skip all the text and just keep running. So skip all the text and keep running. The whole reason we moved our teleporter pyramid out of the first slot was because we didn't want to accidentally use it while skipping that text. So just hit escape to skip the cutscene, skip all this, and you're going to run to here. Then you're going to use Cloak and Dagger, jump up here, use Tactical Retreat, jump down here, and while your character's jumping, actually move your teleporter pyramid to the first slot. You're going to talk to the boat, then you're going to talk to Malady. And that is the end of Act 3, and we're moving into the final act. The final act is extremely quick, requires a bit of precision and a lot of out of bounds, but I hope you guys are having a good time. Make sure you subscribe if you enjoyed this. or if it helped you in any way. If you guys like the content, go check out some of my shorts, man. They're getting better. I won't say they're good, but they're getting better. All right, so you're gonna skip all of Melody's text, then immediately open up your waypoints and just hit travel. That will bring you back to the Hall of Echoes. You're going to run up to this position in front of the stairs, and while you're running, you're going to open your equipment with E, and you're going to level up your wits as high as it will go. You're going to come over to the combat abilities and put as many points in single-handed as possible. And that's all for that. So coming over to this position, now you can do this. So as soon as your character is in this door, you can do this trick. You don't need to wait for him to get here. But what you want to do is place your red pyramid above the chest here. And then you want to quick save. Because this is if you mess this up, is game breaking. So it's soft locking. So quick saving is good. So all you do is roughly align this here and your hotbar to be parallel. And then you can just drag the pyramid up and move it about an inch to the left. Maybe a little less than an inch. This should put it in the right position, but you do want to be more to the left than in the center. Okay, so we can teleport to it. Yeah, I would prefer if we were a little bit more to the right. So if we click into position here, once our character is at this rock point, this high point in the rock, we're going to use teleport, like just press teleport and it'll stop your character. Stop your character. And then we're going to teleport the pyramid into the inbounds. The inbounds should be right around here. Now, if you can, you don't want to be like way over on the right here. You want to be around this position is better. But sometimes you don't get so lucky. It all depends on your character's positioning here. So that's perfect positioning right there. So what you want to do is grab the pyramid and throw it up on this table. Then you want to click so that Fane starts walking down these stairs and hold Alt. So click so that Fane's walking down the stairs and then grab the Magister Sword. You're going to teleport to the pyramid and then you're going to throw the pyramid over here. Open up your inventory. You're actually going to open up both your inventory and your equipment, and you're going to swap the sword with the shiv. There's no better spot to do this, so I just suggest doing it now. So you hold control to attack the sewer gate, grab your pyramid, and then go through the gate. So once you're past the sewer gate, you're going to start running, and you're just going to place your pyramid over here, right in front of the statue. And you're going to next place it close to this wall, like as close as possible, and in this vicinity by this box. So right here is a good spot. Teleport to it, and for whatever reason, the pyramid doesn't see this wall as a wall because it is destructible. So we can just go right through it. Now, this next placement, you want to place your mouse anywhere on this pillar, and it should place it right at the top. So doing that, teleport to it. And then from here, this one is a bit tricky, but you should be able to see a lighter black and then a darker black. And you want to place it in this U shape, just perpendicular to it, where it says target's too far, come back a little bit, and then drop the pyramid. From here, you're going to teleport to it, and then you're going to hold your camera rotation and adjust it to the right or left. So you can see this line at this angle. Now, you're going to use teleport, and you can see here that I have high ground advantage right here. This is good. I can see that this area right here should be where I place my pyramid. So I'm going to click on the pyramid, and now it goes away. But if I do it correctly, I should be able to teleport into one of these positions. So you just want to click on your pyramid and then move down into this position. So from here, you're actually going to use your teleporter pyramid and then click on these stairs before the little skitterbug talks to you. It's actually like a tiny void wogan. Now, as soon as you load into here, you're going to click off to the right and then adjust your camera and use tactical retreat to land in this area. So you want to do it when your character reaches like this point. So if you do it right, it should look like this. Click. Teleport. The reason being is that there's actually a cutscene here. So you want to skip it. Not a cutscene, but like a scene. So now we're going to go straight up. And this is the biggest glitch in the game. I have no idea how it works. But basically, I'll try to explain it. There's basically a trigger wall here for Lucian. And what we're going to do is we're going to cloak and dagger down into this position and quick save at the same time. So what this does is it will quick save while we're mid-air, and it will actually we'll be in this position in the air before Lucian talks to us, but after the trigger. So when we reload, the game won't realize that we've passed the trigger, and it will allow us to just be in this position. In the event that you're doing a casual playthrough and this happens to you, all you have to do is take Lucian and teleport him up onto the merchant. I can't remember his name. Anyways, moving on to the speedrun. So cloak and dagger to this position and spam the F5 key as soon as you click here. So if you do it right, it should look like this. So spam the F5 key as soon as you do that. And then as soon as it finishes quick saving, you can reload, and your character should be in that position without talking to Lucian. And like so, we've actually accomplished that. Now, you could kill everybody in this area if you wanted to, and it wouldn't matter. They wouldn't even bat an eye. So here, we're actually going to, you can see we have an 88% chance to hit the cloaked figure. That's because we maxed our strength, we maxed our wits for crit chance, and we maxed our warfare. And our single-handed is as high as we can get it. And none of the other abilities help us. So all you're going to do is you're going to use your control button to attack the cloaked figure. He won't attack back. So every time you attack him, your character is going to finish the animation and put his sword away. So even if I spam clicked this, it would be really slow. Because if I missed like 1 or 2 attacks, he would get all his armor back. So, yeah, so if I wait too long, he'll get all his armor back. There it goes. Okay, so to remedy this, what you're going to do is something called attack canceling. So as soon as Fane attacks, and his swing follows through and actually hits him, you're going to click, you're just going to click on the character to try and, or to cancel the animation and him putting away the sword. So we hit him. Now, there doesn't actually have to be somewhere where Fane moves. Just clicking cancels the animation. But if you played any like MOBA, sometimes there is attack canceling. So you guys might know how to do this, but you know, in general, attack canceling is very easy. You just want to click on his foot area. You want to press control, attack him, and then let go of control and just click, and then press control and attack him again. So it'll look like something like this. Oh. It is not. You can actually just spam click, and as soon as you let go of control, it's going to help. So all you have to, you can spam click. However, whatever works for you, just practice it and get used to it. That is how you kill and finish the game here. We're almost done. We just have to skip all the text and head towards the end of the game. Spoilers. So once you reach this point, by these steps, you can use Cloak and Dagger to jump up onto the mast. And then we can use Tactical Retreat. Now keep in mind, Tactical Retreat will not give us any advantages. I have no idea why, but that's just the case. Walk to the end of the boat, skip all the text, and you have successfully completed your speedrun of Divinity Original Sin 2. Alright, if this helped you, I am asking you to consider subscribing. I know you've heard it 1,000 times, but if you enjoy the content and you want to see more, I'm trying to upload shorts, YouTube shorts every day for Divinity. I think they're kind of funny, and I'm getting better at editing, so you know, we'll see. If you want to see me streaming, I do stream on Twitch and YouTube, but I work a full-time job now, so that's a little bit less. So if you guys just want to watch the YouTube videos, I won't blame you. But if you do want to see the streams, head over to my Twitch or just subscribe, because I also stream on YouTube. If you have any questions or would like to know anything about the speedrun, feel free to ask in the comments below, and I will try to get back to you. And if you want to be a part of a awesome community, feel free to join the Discord. All links are in the description below. I also want to say thank you to everybody who supported me at AGDQ. That was almost 2 months ago now, but I feel like it was just yesterday. I ended up doing AGDQ. I ended up not having to move. I ended up getting a really good opportunity to rent an apartment. As a lot of you know, I was living in a little trailer for a very long time, almost 2 years. Yeah, so now this is my space, and I'm really happy about it. So I think in the future I may start doing more true glitchless speedruns, which are about 4 hours long. That include no death fog barrel, no pyramids, no glitches, and no teleport pyramids. So while pyramids are not a glitch, they're not really meant to be used that way. So, and if you are wondering, yes, this speedrun can be adopted into honor mode. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to ask below, but I have beat it. You can go check out the video on my channel. It is up there. It's like one of the top 5 there. So go check it out. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. Always appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And as always, stay worldly.